Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit more Cali, courtesy of Social Talk up in this piece in the form of Urban Roots. This be their 16 degrees. 16. It is a special Czech style lager, 7%. A little high in ABV, but we'll allow it. It's a special Lezak Czech style lager, 7% alcohol by volume. This is Urban Roots Brewing, Sacramento, California. Done and done. Dig that label. Sucker for the gold, and then you have that just kind of just big, huge font on there. I'm game. Like I said, this comes courtesy of Chris from Soul Talking. Go check him out. I will link below. He has a YouTube channel, a lot of spirit, a bit of beer. Give it a whirl. Give it a look-see. It's quite dark. I mean, it is 7%. Now, this it says here, special Czech style lager. Back here it says Lezak. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's a special kind of Czech lager, and that's the whole thing. It's not like the special Czech lager. It's a specific Czech lager that obviously, based off of this, excuse a bit darker. Holiday special batch K16. Not sure what that means, so don't get a date on it. We'll have to go look up a date and see what's what after the review. But yeah, dig it on the can design. And yeah, I mean, that looks like you're almost getting to Baki, some double Baki kind of vibes as far as darkness goes on that. Just has this orange kind of heavy shilling ale kind of coloration to it. Off-white, just south of khaki colored head. It looks more like, you know, Marzen kind of getting into that Baki range as far as looks go. Not necessarily what I expect from a Czech lager, but it's special. Don't forget that. Let's get a nose. Pretty neutral. Sans a little bit of caramel. I mean, you kind of assume that's what's going to come through with a beer of this dark. Soft little, and it's almost like a brownish bread that was baked using caramels as sugar as opposed to a straight caramel. So it's not like an overt sweetness, but there's a caramel portion in the shell here. Maybe a little bit of herbaceous kind of hops. And that's pretty much it. You know, it comes out very neutral on the nose. Not something you expect a little bit more beefiness to it for being 7% alcohol by volume. It doesn't come off as anything negative either. Just kind of curious to see what it tastes like. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. This drink's like a bock to me. 100% like a bock. Yeah. I mean, it has that little bit of bittering. Maybe that's where you can kind of talk yourself into a Czech lager, but it really does come off as like Bock, even like double Bock. But I don't mean there's like, to me, there's like two like branches of double Bock. There's the Celebrator, Boston Lager, Troganator double Bock, which is a sultry, rich, creamy, soft, rich, soft, palated bockiness. And then there's double bocks like Pollinator Salvatore, those kind of bocks, which come off like quite a bit more like this, which is a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisper, a little bit thinner, something just a bit above kind of Märzen, kind of Maibach kind of thing. Just a little bit north of that. And that's where this one kind of lies for me. Rich maltiness, a sweetness, a brown breadiness baked with that caramel like I talked about. That nose actually 100% follows through in the taste. There's a pop of bittering here. Very old school, Czechy, Zazie, kind of just like pops of bittering, sharpness to it. Maybe a little herbaceousness going on, just like the nose leads you to believe too. And a really nice mouthfeel, especially if you kind of compartmentalize it as a Bock. You're not getting... We're not going to talk about this as a Czech lager. They call it a special Czech lager, and they call it a Lezak. I don't know what that means. My beer vocabulary fails me again, but I'm guessing it is something akin quite a bit more to a German version of a Bock with that little bit of different kind of Czechy kind of hopping to it. And that's the way it comes off. It's a really, really tasty beer. It's funny because I got this beer in the beer mill, and I'm like, man, 7% Czech lager? It's not necessarily my cup of tea. You know, I want them to be a little bit lower ABV. If you were to say this is 7%, again, keep using the word Bock here, or even double Bock, I'd be like, okay, I'm pretty interested in that. And that's where this lands for me. And it ends up being a really, really well done, tasty beer. I'm very, very curious to see what they say. Why do I hesitate on looking stuff up? Let's just actually look this up and see what their whole, see what the rhyme or reason around this beer is for a quick minute. But yeah, anyway, Urban Roots Lager. I mean, a 16 should clue you off that it's going to come off a bigger, richer beer. Let's see. Strong Czech lager, brewed with a holiday lager. Often beer strong and above 13 Plato is Czech Republic reserved for special occasions or referred to special Lysak. Okay, so it's anything above 13. Malty, fruity, crisp. I wonder if there's anything deeper to that special Lysak. Kane did one at 12 though, so that's kind of weird. Because I said, as far as Urban Roots goes, or no, that came from Urban Roots, saying anything over 13%. Yeah, I don't really see much else going on. But anyway, that wasn't entertaining. That's why I probably don't do that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a very tasty beer, and very, very cool to see that richer, darker kind of format with that kind of Czech base on it, and end up being pretty delicious. It's one of the better Czech lagers I've had as of late. Sure, fine. Is it one of the better Czech lagers, but masquerading as a Bock / double Bock? Yeah, even higher. Getting close to Mount Rushmore status, especially in that Bock level, if we're going to talk about it that way. Value availability, I have no idea on this. Anybody out in the West Coast? Chris, anybody? Let me know what's going on with this as far as price and all that stuff. And leave you with, if you like what we like this, guess what? If you like Bocks and double Bocks and also like Czech Pilses, you will dig this. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Urban Roots. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had their beers? What's your favorite Urban Roots beer? Have you had this beer? Curious to see what you think about this beer. Especially if you live in a world where you've experienced a lot of Czech and German lager styles, and see where this one kind of fits in your kind of compartmentalization of style. All that fun stuff. We can talk about it down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little Urban Roots right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers, y'all.